Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Irate Veteran 8888. Today we've got another body armor test for you from RMA here. We're going to be shooting their Level IIIA Contago vest here. So Level IIIA is rated for up to 44 Magnum, so we're going to be launching some 240 grain Federal 44 Magnum out of a 6-inch barrel. This is a Smith & Wesson 29DX Classic. So this is definitely a good baseline test to see how this armor is going to do. Soft armor has a lot of interesting characteristics. You know, it's very concealable. Dare I say, oh, well, I might actually be wearing a set of this body armor right now. I'll show you guys here in a little bit. I'm wearing the Virtus concealable shirt, their Level IIIA ballistic shirt right now. So I'd say it's concealing fairly well. I mean, I'm not exactly a small guy, but I would imagine if I was just, you know, in the public at large, you really wouldn't be able to tell I was wearing it. But we're going to shoot this particular piece of armor here with the 44 mag. Let's give it a try, and then we're going to, of course, in typical fashion, launch some much nastier threats at this, which some of them might get through. All right, we're going to get our baseline test out of the way. We're going to launch our 44 Magnum out of the 6-inch barrel here out of the Smith & Wesson, and I'm only about 12 feet away, so not very far. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 rounds into it, and it's also worthy point of reference here. This is the first shot that we're making with our brand new Sony cameras we just picked up. So let us know if you can tell a difference in the quality. All right, I just had to put that out there so I could put the pressure on Chad a little bit. Okay, here we go. And here we are. All right. All right. Now that soft armor, whew. I mean, a threat like that with nothing behind it, you're definitely gonna feel it. But let's have a look, see if it stopped it. Okay, so just like we thought, it stopped it, but you're probably gonna feel it, okay? And also, you know, with this concealable shirt that I'm wearing, the Level IIIA shirt, I mean, I feel protected, but believe me, that gun shooting me in the chest from that distance, yeah, you're still gonna be sucking a little wind, but you're gonna be alive, and that's the important thing to consider. I know that the soft armors are not quite as sexy as the hard armors. It can stop all kind of crazy threats, but they do have their place, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the whole panel completely out, and let's have a look. Okay, initially when I felt, oh yeah, look at that. Big old ugly jacketed projectile hanging out of the hole. But we can see our high hit there, stopped it just fine, and our low hit stopped it just fine. So there's 2 44 Magnums right there. And I can look in both of these holes and I can see the projectile. Look at that. It caught the projectile. You can see where it expanded. Look, I'll just go ahead and rip that open a little bit so you can see. If I can maybe grab this out, look at that. I don't want to cut myself. But there's the jacket. Wow. There you go. There's your jacket. So stopped them just fine. All right, we're gonna go ahead and step up the threats and see if we can get through this armor with some handguns. But don't go yet. I think you're gonna be surprised at what we're gonna use. All right, we're gonna up the ante here a little bit. We've got the FK Bernot PSD pistol, and we're shooting the F9 projectile. This is a really wicked solid that they load in this particular gun that's capable of taking dangerous game up to 500 pounds. So this is a pretty ridiculous threat to throw at this Level IIIA plate, but we're gonna do it anyway. Let's have some fun. I got a couple of rounds here. The 7.5 Bernot cartridge is a really interesting setup here. So let's have some fun. Okay, this is danger close. Gorgeous. All right, let's have a look, see what kind of damage we did. Okay, let's see if our 7.5 got through this soft armor. Now, we're sort of throwing a curveball at this armor because this pistol will actually penetrate Level IIIA armor at 100 yards. Okay, and we're 12 feet away, so we're certainly asking this armor to do something it's not designed to do. Okay, but nonetheless, it sort of solidifies that particular pistol. Okay, so you can see a very considerable difference in the way the holes look. Both of the rounds made it through this particular plate, and back here, we actually have one of the projectiles, okay? Look at that. So the projectile actually mushroomed out just a little bit. That's kind of cool. We actually didn't know that these projectiles would open up at all, right? Considering that it's just a solid copper. So that's an interesting thing to figure out. Now we had another piece of soft armor on the back. So this projectile would have to go through the armor, through the rubber dummy, which is a pretty dense dummy. Like, it's gonna take a lot of force to shoot something through this rubber. So let's see if it made it through the rubber and into the other armor plate, which it looks like it is relatively unscathed. There's a couple of little marks here where it just kind of barely grazed into it, and it looks like the projectiles didn't even try to get through the other side. All right, I went back to my Nintendo 64 and I went in GoldenEye and I got the CZ52 for this next test here. So we're gonna be running some Polish Circle 10. This does have a mild iron penetrator in it. So this ammo is some pretty nasty stuff. Full disclosure, the primers on this Polish stuff can be a little hard. I might get a little hang fire or a little weird hiccup. So if it doesn't run right, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But anyway, this is surplus ammunition and an original CZ52 pistol. Interesting note on this gun too, it does use a kind of like a roller delayed blowback type of setup. Not quite the same as an HK per se or whatever, but it's just an interesting handgun. If you guys haven't seen our video on it, check it out. Okay, 7.62 by 25. Now we are throwing some threats at this plate, or this armor that's pretty severe threats. So we saw that the FK, you know, shot right through it. 7.62 by 25 is a pretty nasty threat. Now granted, this isn't a super long barrel, but it is a full-size handgun using period correct machine gun ammunition. So let's give it a try. Hopefully this bad boy will shoot for me. Okay, here we go. All right, let's have a look. Okay, so did the 7.62 by 25 make it through? This is one that I'm really curious about because there's a lot of surplus CZ52s and Tokarev pistols out there on the market. 7.62 is a pretty screaming little cartridge. Let's have a quick look here. All right, well, so far I'm not getting a very positive indication here because we've got some of that in the dummy, which means something made it through. But let's not jump to conclusions. Let's have a look. Now this is a fresh plate that we just turned the armor around to the other side. Okay, so there's our 2 rounds of 7.62 by 25 Tokarev right there in the center. And it looks like we had 1 round get through and 1 stop. So that's anybody's guess there, you know. I mean, that's an interesting result. But one round stopped, the other one didn't. All right, I got 10 rounds of 4.6 by 30 and the new CMMG Banshee in 4.6. This is definitely a very, very new gun for them. All right, we're gonna try some of this into the Level IIIA soft armor. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot all 10 rounds and I'll try to spread them out a little bit. Let's just see if any of them make it through. It's just kind of asking this armor to do something kind of weird, but then again, the performance of this 4.6 is pretty close to 5.7, so not too far apart there. All right, let's have a go. Here we go. All right, let's see what happened. So in this video, we really showed sort of what the limitations are for Level IIIA armor. Level IIIA does represent a very considerably, good price in terms of the price of the armor. It's very affordable to get into. It's very light and concealable. I'm going to show you the one I'm wearing right now. I've had this on the whole time, and that's the concealable Victus that I'm wearing here. And then of course we've been shooting this particular one. Let's have a look and see if our 4.6s made it through. Now, it's not looking good on that front. Okay, I can already see, yeah, he's not having a good day. Looks like a couple made it through. Let me pull the plate out here and have a look. We've got a very unhappy camper here. Now, it's worth noting that we purposely chose these threats, right? Because we wanted to test the true limitations of this type of armor. Not only Level IIIA as a rating, but also just some of these new guns that are out here, like the FK, you know, that's very new technology that a lot of armor hasn't been rated for yet. So we're stepping way outside of the NIJ certification. But we can see here that the 4.6s, a few of them made it through and a few of them didn't. So we can feel the projectiles. A couple of them, you can feel them in there. So again, just like the 7.62 by 25, a few of them stopped and a few of them didn't. And you have to also remember that that's just Fiocchi, you know, ball ammunition. That's not anything real fancy out of the 4.6. So that's an interesting result. We thought we would show that off. So between the 7.62 by 25 and the 4.6 by 30, those are a couple of very nasty threats. And of course, that FK 7.5 round is a pretty nasty threat. In the intro, when we launched a 44 Magnum out of the, into this soft armor, you notice it stopped those, no issues at all. So anything 44 mag and under, you know, if it's just like 9mm, 380, you know, any of your standard handgun threats, 45 ACP, 44 Magnum, 357 Magnum, you know, any of that stuff. Because 44 is a hoss, right? Anything that speed and lower, basically like 95% of the guns on the street, you're covered, okay? And you can see the concealable armor holding up quite well. You know, it's very comfortable to wear. So just keep that in mind. Level IIIA has its limitations, but it will save your life probably for like 95% of the stuff you're gonna run into on the street. So just keep that in mind. I always love testing body armor, and it's interesting to throw some of these new threats at that testing standard. So I think what's gonna probably wind up happening, I don't mean to tell tales out of school, but in the long term, I think what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board on testing protocols because of some of these new threats. There may end up being some type of a additional soft armor threat that can be developed to have 110% protection against any and everything that you might see out on the street. So just something to keep in mind. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters for supporting our videos. If you want to support our channel directly, that's one of the most direct ways you can do so, or you can go over to Ballistic Ink and pick yourself up a snazzy new t-shirt. All those funds go right back into supporting our channel, so thank you very much for being a part of that. Many more body armor videos on the way, lots of other content. We've been filming like madmen. Thank you very much for the support. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. All right.